Hey guys, it's Aseem Sharma, Training Manager from Solframe Consulting. I do hope you're all well. Today I want to discuss a couple of things. One, how do we deal with difficulties in life? I'm talking broadly emotionally and also how it can affect you in terms of at the workplace or just generally functioning if you're studying, or how it can impact you when you are trying to function on something and you're unable to do so. That's number one. And number two is, how do you actively listen to people to be able to absorb information effectively? So let's come on to the first thing. Let's say you're working, and a lot of us are now working from home remotely, and with that also, it has its advantages, it also has its disadvantages. So physically, because you're generally in a home space, you would also be occupied with chores and family, and there may be other distractions, and there can be other things that normally, had you been at the office physically having that distance, it may not affect you as much. So let's take an example. I have been working remotely, and infrastructurally, let's say that there's been a power cut, and that power cut also affects my internet connectivity and the availability of water. So I kind of, I'm stuck, and I've exhausted my power backup. That obviously affects my ability to work. Obviously, the first thing you should do is be transparent and inform your reporting manager or whoever that, look, this is what's happened. It's very easy to panic, and if you already have a lot going on your plate in terms of, okay, Aseem, I need this assignment done by this evening, I need this presentation made by end of day, and I also need you to interview some people because we're hiring some people, for instance, let's say. So that culminates and becomes too much. I think the first thing is to accept, my God, this is too much. It's okay to feel insecure and feel kind of anxious. That's fine. We're human. There's no point in kind of acting about it and saying that, no, it's okay. Generally, in my experience, and I've experienced, like many of you guys, especially during the pandemic, a lot of unusual situations and difficulties and hardships, your ability to be resilient is in, one, admitting that there's a problem, accepting it, seeking help, being courageous enough to seek help if possible, whatever it may be. If you need to speak to someone, if you can confide in someone at the workplace, then great, but just be aware not to mix your kind of personal and work-related professional ventures, because that can cause interference, and that can lead to a myriad of problems. Having said that, it's always good to take advice and be able to start prioritizing. So you think that, okay, I have 3 tasks at hand, and unfortunately right now I am hindered by X, Y, and Z to do these things. So let me formulate a plan, and let me give a realistic time frame, and also update people in real time, the stakeholders or whoever needs that work from you. Right now I'm just referring to a work-related situation, but it could be anything. Let's say you're studying, or you're just doing your own thing and it's impacting you. So I'd probably tell my manager, okay, I would prioritize that assignment that needs to be done because you needed that first of all, although I am actually able to, for instance, interview people because I don't need an internet connection for that. So can I kind of organize things? Can I reschedule things? So chances are people are going to be more receptive to what you have to say and your suggestions if you're able to justify it. If you're able to rationalize and justify why you're saying something and why you're putting something across to someone, generally who's senior to you, they're more likely to be receptive to it if you're able to prove your point, right? Put your point across. And that is another art of persuasion and conversation, all right? Being able to convince someone. And it doesn't need to be an elevator or sales pitch. It just needs to be candid, to the point, confident, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, okay? And being energetic, the way I'm speaking right now, okay? I'm not putting on a show. This is Aseem Sharma just speaking as he speaks, okay? I'm thinking as I'm going along. I have a few points in my mind. It's good to be spontaneous. It makes you natural. You come across as being natural. So, prioritize, schedule, give regular updates, also mitigating factors, that in case this doesn't happen, what is my backup plan? How can I handle this? All right? If you feel that something really terrible has happened and you need a break or you need some time off, don't hesitate to ask, what's the worst that would happen? Someone would say no. Then you could politely say, okay, well then how do you expect me to do A, B, and C, X, Y, and Z? Everything. Because this is what is the problem, and I've taken the ownership to reach out to you proactively, taking that initiative and saying, listen, this is a problem right now. I don't want that problem to grow. This is what my plan, my contingency plan is to address it, and I would like your support or guidance, or at least I'm just giving you an FYI that this is how it is, okay? And that would help to gain acceptance. So, the next time that you face such a situation, accept that it's okay. Don't panic too much, although it's easier said than done. Maybe an element of anxiety is normal. Accept it. I'm not saying you embrace it, but say, hey, this is happening. This is a normal reaction. You're not going to say, oh, yay, I have a crisis here. Okay? So being able to react to it and respond to it is very important in an appropriate manner, and that kind of demonstrates your professionalism. It helps you to grow as a person as well. If you had asked me to deal with a crisis 5 years ago, I would have been much more immature about it and probably would be shouting and screaming. So, we all learn how to tame ourselves, but it's okay to express disappointment or dissatisfaction and channelize that. So, again, prioritize, make a plan, inform people, and communicate effectively. That's one thing. Now, in terms of active listening, the second point that I made, it's as simple as someone tells you something, you absorb the information, you may paraphrase it, and, repeat it back to them that, listen, this is what I've understood. You said A, B, C, and now this is version 2 of what you've just said. This is what I've understood. Have I missed anything? Is there anything else I need to know? At least the person knows that you're making the effort to listen to them. And even if you genuinely did not understand something, at least you've made the effort to, try. And they would be more willing to repeat it or explain it or rephrase it in a different way, if that's the case. And the two things, actually, the first point about dealing with a crisis and the second about active listening, both of them can be combined, because let's say you are conveying some information to someone and you're doing it effectively and clearly, then they're going to be able to understand you. That improves your conversational skills. And vice versa, if then they have something to say to you that, okay, listen, Aseem, this is what I will advise, but because you're so caught up in your own world of problems, you're not paying attention. Well, that's not very good either. I know it can be easier said than done, again, I'm saying this, but then at least, just listening and kind of blocking out everything and just concentrating on what the person is saying for about a minute, that can make the world of a difference. And by the end of the day, you probably would, reflect back, and you may even laugh at yourself that, look, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Yes, it looked like a mountainous problem, but I've been able to overcome it, and it's helped me to grow. Not all the time you'll be able to understand why we face problems in life, and it's not immediately obvious, and often maybe not for a long time, why something happened, or why it was so difficult, or why you didn't succeed at something. But as the saying goes, and I know you may have heard and read this many times, a lot of successful people, leaders or inventors or scientists, have tried multiple times and have failed to be able to achieve something before finally discovering or making something which we heavily rely upon in society and now we take for granted. Anything, it could be anything, right? So I really think that we shouldn't get too caught up in being negative about things, and we should take a step back. We should try to embrace the situation by saying, okay, these are my options. What can I do? Maybe a bit of lateral thinking outside the box. What can I do? I don't have electricity. I have mobile data. Should I go up to the roof and try to make do with what I can? Is it possible? Now, obviously, we have social distancing and we're in another lockdown as I speak. But then again, would it be feasible for me to take backup from someone else? There are many things. These are obvious things, but I'm just saying. And reorganizing yourself as well. This is all important. And if you're able to do this, and you're able to manage your time effectively, it will help you in the long run to become a more sustainable person in terms of managing your workload, delegating tasks to people, and leading. Ultimately, we all want to grow. So until next time, guys, I hope you found this information useful and you can implement it in your daily lives. the next time you face a problem. If you want to share your experiences or you want to comment below, then please do so. You're welcome to. Until then, please do subscribe or stay subscribed to our YouTube channel. We're also available on LinkedIn and other social media platforms including Facebook, Instagram and Telegram. So, until then, please do stay safe, do take care, and bye-bye.